Welcome back to the Wealth Guardian Show. Guarding your retirement from market losses with safe money strategies. I'm Brian Geiser. And with us today is Doug Ray and Paul Taylor. The trio is back, and it's been a long time since all three of us. But, folks, if you want to meet with myself, Paul, or Doug, that number is 800-515-2919 to discuss our strategies for your safe money, as well as Paul can discuss your risk money with you in a true tactical strategy, not one disguised as a tactical strategy. And what I mean by that, folks, there are two types of markets. We have a safe market, or a buy and hold market, which we did have back from 82 to 2000. One could buy and hold, and that was a good strategy. It's called strategic. And then you have the tactical strategy, which has basically been in effect since about 2000. The market has dictated a tactical strategy, which basically means you better have some exit points in your plan, in your financial plan, so that you don't participate in these huge losses that a lot of folks have been participating in over the last 11 years, as they call it, the lost decade. But something else I want to mention right now, in addition to that, folks, we have offices in Raleigh, Greensboro, Southern Pines. We also have offices down around Lake Norman area, Charlotte, Winston-Salem. We pretty much cover the large part of the state of North Carolina. So give us a call, 800-515-2919. Another thing I want to discuss right now is I have something that I wanted to bring up, kind of relating to the story earlier where I was talking to the broker about guaranteed funds, and I'd spoke with a potential client last year, and she had right around $710,000, $720,000. And this year she has right around $710,000, $720,000. She does take an income around $3,000 a month off of it, and has been doing that since 2000. And in 2000 she had $1.4 million, and wow. She's been collecting the same income, $36,000 a year, for 11 years. So that's around $400,000, right? 11 times 36. So right at $400,000 she's taken from this $1.4 million. She has $710,000 today. She says, and her broker has done so well bringing her back through these horrible times in the market.
Are you kidding me?
I kid you not. Horrible times in the market. I said, we'll call her Ann. That's not her real name, but we'll call her Ann. Ann, I said, let me understand this. You had $1.4 million in January of 2000. You now have $710,000, half that, and you've received $400,000. So that's about a total of about $1.1 million that you've worked with, but $300,000 has disappeared off the face of the earth. I said, do you realize you've received $400,000, and had you just put that in a non-interest-bearing account and still received that $36,000 a year, you'd have $1 million today. She goes, I know, but my broker's really has done well for me, though.
Are you kidding me?
I kid you not. The denial of some of these people, the procrastination of folks. You know, I've got an article now that I'm starting to send out to people, and it's like 2 ways to end financial procrastination. I mean, you have got to step up to the plate. If you really want your financial plan to work for you, you must quit lying to yourself.
Brian, I got to ask. I mean, what? Did she back that up with anything? What does she mean he's done well for her? Please explain.
That she says, but when that count went down in 2008 and it went down back in early 2000, he was able to bring back a lot of it. I said, but why were you even at that level of risk if you're in retirement not contributing? I can't answer that. And what reminded me of her, did you hear the bumper music just before we went to break last time? It's that old Blondie song about Mars, and she was from Mars right then. I'm like, and that's what reminded me. I mean, I got to mention this. This was so unbelievable. And she was out of, she's from back over in the Raleigh area, bless her heart, and I'm just going, you are risking running out of money. And right now, I mean, we've got an instrument right now that will pay a folks to age 90 a 5% rate. It's an endowment feature inside one of our products from a guaranteed basis that pays 5% endowments, which basically means if you put your money in this instrument, you have $700,000. You can get $35,000 a year all the way to age 90 and not disrupt your principal. and leave that principal to your kids. And it was important for her to leave a legacy. I said, I'll tell you right now, $300,000 would have bought one heck of a life insurance policy for you back in 2000. And you would have left your kids probably $2-3 million just off of that one piece that you gave away to the market. And how much? And I said, let's just do the fees. Let's just average you out at $1 million for the last 11 years at 1.5%. Mm-hmm. That's $165,000 this person's collected, and to lose $300,000 of her money.
Do you realize she would be so much better off if she'd taken that $1.4 million and just put it in the mattress?
There's no doubt. That's what I was saying, a non-interest-bearing account. Just think, back then we had fixed annuities that paid 5% fixed for 10 years. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
5.25%. Imagine 5%. She would have had $70,000 a year up until last year and still had her $1.4 million. And what's 70 times? That's $770,000 she would have been paid, double the money, and still have her $1.4 million as up until last year.
Hey, folks, listen to me, please. Rising tides lift all ships, okay? I'm an old Navy guy. I know that. It's time you start to understand that. If you're in the market and it's going up, it's going to lift your ship up. It's also going to sink it, too, when it goes down.
But it goes down much more rapidly than it goes up. The bulls take the stairs, bears take the elevator. 800-515-2919. Write that number down. 800-515-2919. Call live operators. We'll get back to you. You leave your information. We'll get back to you next week, the three of us.
Paul, I want to bring you into the conversation because a moment ago at the break we were talking about variable annuities.
Mm-hmm.
This has happened again, and we've talked about them before on this show, but twice this past week I had a situation, and you've had two this week, where somebody's come in with a variable annuity and they think that income roll-up that they get, whether it's 5 or 6%, that's going to get them out lump sum at the end of the contract.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I met the lady just this week, and she thought that that's what it was, and I really had to spend a lot of time to let her know that, hey, no, it is not a principal amount. This is you would have to draw it from an income. And what's really wild is we were talking. I've been meeting with her, and she's already hired us as a client, but we hadn't made the transition. But 3 weeks ago, I was telling her, one of my concerns when we very first met is that people get stuck in those variable annuities for the income because the principals drop so massively they can't do anything about getting out of it, and then they're sold on the income basis of it. But in her situation, and most people I've met with, they keep thinking that the guarantee is a principal guarantee, and folks, it is not. I have the license to write variable annuities, and ever since the index annuities come out, I will not sell one. And I would challenge anybody to talk to me about that because I guarantee there's not one variable annuity that has beaten index annuity since 2000.
You're absolutely right. I mean, there's no question about it. Folks, please understand what Paul's talking about. In a variable annuity, that income roll-up, that 5 or 6% roll-up, is only there for you to annuitize that annuity. In other words, you have to give your equity or your lump sum or whatever you want to call it to the insurance company so they will promise you a stream of payments for the rest of your life or a period certain. Bottom line.
It's the ultimate buy and hold instrument. They force you into the market in order to even receive a lot of the benefits. And regardless of what's happening in the market, Doug. So, I mean, it's the ultimate buy and hold. They love you when you purchase those things, and you can top those variable annuities all day long for income.
Well,
period, end of story.
You guys said something just a second ago during the break. Why would anybody buy one of those other than for a death benefit?
Yeah.
If you're unhealthy and you want to have a death benefit, then that might be the time you would do it. If you're healthy, you shouldn't be doing one at all.
Right, because if you're unhealthy and you have $100,000 you want to leave your grandkids and you can't get life insurance and you use this instrument for a death benefit and go be as aggressive as you possibly can because your grandkids would get the high watermark, so it gives them an opportunity to get more money than you put in. Granted, I'm all for that without risking the principal from a death benefit, but you got to die to get it.
You got to die to get it, but even an indexed annuity is better than that because
correct.
Most of them have some sort of a death benefit attached to it, and you're guaranteed your principal won't go down. So if you have to tap into that principal in the future, What's going to happen if the market's down 50, 60% like it was back in 08 and 09?
You've lost nothing. You've lost nothing.
Exactly. And another thing that you were talking about, and I don't know if we were really clear on this just in the moment, but when you were talking about if someone does have one of these variable annuities with the income account hooked to it, you can still, like you say, keep the thing alive. Just keep 10% in the account. Maintain that the income from it.
And the death benefit.
Do a withdrawal, and the death benefit. Withdraw a large portion of the annuity and put it into something safe, but yet you maintain that annuity less the withdrawal. And it's the only way to go. I mean, it's a great way to expand your pay. You're listening to the Wealth Guardian Show. We'll be back in a moment.